All right, this video is on simple probability and its complement. We have looked at probability in flashbacks, just simple probability. And what you see here today is going to look a little familiar to you because I've had it up on the board several times. But with simple probability, probability is the likelihood of an event happening as is expressed as a number between 0 and 1. Now, we've seen that several times in flashbacks, and I've had it written on the board for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to label the terms on the number line: unlikely, equally likely, impossible, certain, and likely. So if something has a 0 chance of happening, that is impossible. Right, we've got a half here, so we're going to put the a fourth right here so that we know that. And then one, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Right here, we're going to put 3/4, so it's 75%. So if it's 1/4, it's going to be unlikely, and that is 25%. 1/2 is equally likely, that's 50%. 3/4 is likely, and that's 75%. And then 1 is certain it's going to happen. All right, so we have some situations down here that we're going to read out the example and then label the situation with one of the terms that we just wrote down. Getting wet if you jump into a pool. Well, if you jump in a pool, you're going to get wet, so that's certain. Burning your dinner if you cook it too long. It's not certain, but it could be likely going to happen. Water boiling at 75 degrees. That's impossible. Getting a ticket if you're speeding. That is likely. Scoring 2 points on a safety in a football game. That's unlikely. And a coin landing on heads when it is flipped. That is equally likely. Each one of them has a 50% chance. All right. Use the descriptions above to create statements representing the likelihood of an event happening based on the data. All right, Steve is going to randomly select a jelly bean from a bag. Use the information from the table to complete the sentences below. Steve is half as likely to select blank jelly beans than a blank jelly bean than a blank jelly bean. So let's do the adding and get the percentages here of what we got. So let me take this. Let's get a total. So we've got 24 plus 16 plus 18 plus 12. So we have a total of 70. We have a total of 70. All right, let's do the percentages. 24 over 70 is 34%. 16 over 70. All I'm doing is 16 divided by 70 is 23%. 18 over 70. 18 divided by 70 is 0.257, so that's 26%. And then 12 over 70 equals 17%. Okay. Steve is half as likely to select. And then 12 is toothpaste, blue raspberry, butter popcorn, and lemon. So Steve is half as likely to select toothpaste jelly bean than the lemon jelly bean. Steve is 2/3 as likely to select a buttered popcorn or buttered popcorn jelly bean than a lemon jelly bean. Steve is 75% as likely to select toothpaste jelly bean than a buttered popcorn jelly bean. So there's what we picked here. The toothpaste is 17%, and then the lemon is 34%. That's half. If you do that, that's 34. Steve is 2/3 as likely to select buttered popcorn than lemon. So buttered popcorn is 23, and then that would be 34. So that's 2/3 of that. And then 75% select toothpaste over buttered. So we have that. Rebecca's going to randomly choose a cookie from a box. There are 7 sugars, 16 chocolates, 4 peanut butters, and 3 snickerdoodles. Write 2 statements comparing the probabilities using the terms from the number line above. So we've got 7 sugars, 6 chocolate, 4 peanut butter, and 3 snickerdoodles. All right, so we could say 1, Rebecca is equally likely to choose peanut butter and snickerdoodles because they're close in numbers. So peanut butter or a snickerdoodle. And the second one, and it's impossible for Rebecca to choose an oatmeal. Why? Because there's not any oatmeal. Okay. Simple probability. Simple probability is the ratio of successful outcomes to the total number of outcomes. This is what we've worked at in class. So the probability of A, you've got the number of A's on top over the total outcomes. The complement, the probability of an event not occurring is the complement, the probability of the event and its complement have a sum of 1. So the probability of not A, so we've got not A over total outcomes. And that's what this little tilde mark right here means. All right, so let's look at some examples. What is the probability of choosing a marble with stripes? What is the complement of choosing a marble with sparkles? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 marbles. How many have stripes? 2, 6, and that reduces to 1/3. The probability of not sparkles is what it says. So the probability of not sparkles is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 6, or 1/2. Number 10, what is the probability of spinning a heart? If we look on here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 total outcomes. And how many are hearts? We have 2. So the probability of doing hearts is 2/7. What's the probability, and there's a complement here, of not doing a diamond? So we have 7 outcomes and not a diamond. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 diamonds. So the probability of a diamond complement is 3/7. Number 11, a standard number cube is rolled. What is the probability of rolling a 6? So we've done this before with 6 numbers on a number cube, and there's 1 6. And the probability of rolling an odd number is 1, 3, and 5. So that's 3 out of 6, or 1/2.
1/2.
Mr. Bailey's helping y'all.
Yeah.
Number 12, laundry basket contains 24 socks. 6 were navy, 10 were black, and the remaining were white. What is the probability of drawing a black sock? So he told us we had 24 socks, and 10 of them were black. And that can reduce to by 2, which is 5/12. A white sock, so we got 10 and 6 was 16. So 8 out of 24 are white, which reduces to 1/3. Number 13, the spinner below is spun. What is the probability of spinning? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a possibility of 7 of not spinning a 6. So if we take out the 6, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 7. A 3 or a 4. Okay, this is where or and. So if we got or and we've got and, one's going to be multiplication and one's going to be division. So what's the probability of a 3 or 4? So 3 is going to be 1 out of 7, and a 4 is going to be 1 out of 7. So it's 2 out of 7. So when you see the word or, you add. So 3 is 1 out of 7, and 4 is 1 out of 7. So that's 2/7. An odd number. So we got 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5, and 7. So that's 4 out of 7. The letters in the word soccer are put into a bag and drawn randomly. What is the probability of choosing a vowel? So we've got the O and the E. I see 2 vowels out of 6 letters. So that reduces to 1/3. A consonant. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6. And that reduces to 2/3. The letter C is 2 out of 6. And that is 1/3. Number 15, the probability of selecting nonfiction books off a return shelf at the library is 1/3. Describe what 2/3 represents of the situation. If 1/3 represents selecting a nonfiction, then 2/3 is going to represent what? So if 1/3 is nonfiction, what's the other type of book that we have in our library? Nonfiction and fiction. So we use 1/3. How much of the thirds do we have left? We have 2/3. There's 2/3 chance that a fiction book will be selected. And I want you to put this at the bottom of your paper. If we do or, it means we add, and if it's and, it means we multiply. And we'll get to these later.